What is it, Ambrister?
Paladin.
Finally closing, is it?
No.
More
Server issues.
No, it's...
Deleting YAG or reworking Torv.
What? Spit it out.
It's...
Actually buffin Caut.
I have
Released my weekly 90% Caut video yet.
No, sir.
My last review condemned it to the
Casual gamers.
Yes, sir.
I said,
Paladins.
who has finally found his rightful place in history right alongside another equally famous
Game.
Monsieur.
Gigantic.
Touché.
That is where I left it. That was my last,
Video.
the last.
Video.
Yes.
Then tell me, Ambrister, how could it be?
It's buffing Caut.
You are Monsieur.
Evil Mojo.
Oh, hello.
Pardon me for interrupting your premature celebration, but I thought it only fair to give you a sporting chance as you are new to this game.
Game?
Yes, and you've been playing without an opponent, which is, as you may have guessed,
Anyone with half a brain.
You're...
Actually a good player.
Well, I am a GM and a former pro player.
And...
You only played 2 games on main roster.
I don't like.
Paladins.
I love it. If I don't love it, I
Complain on Twitter and make angry YouTube videos.
will return.
To the patch notes.
With-
Yet another fucking video.
Pray you don't disappoint me.
Alright, fuckers, memes aside, I'm fed up with this whole 90% cop thing. I've made 2 videos of me being the good cop. Now, it's time for the bad cop. Since my last video, there was a video that Apache made in favor of 75% cop. There were the 4.5 patch notes where cop was buffed to fucking 80%, which has dev commentary. And regardless of how the nice cosmetic change of 5% will affect the game, every single argument I've heard for 75% COT is stupid, and I've had it up to here. Let's talk about why. And just as a heads up, I'm going to be mean. I'm not going to fully explain things that are like obvious or things where the burden of proof is on the other person. This isn't going to be some nice calm, let's sit down and talk about the game. This is going to be me saying everything I can't or like don't want to normally in these videos. It's still going to be the same content, but it's going to be filled with the pent-up rage of having to listen to bullshit for the past 2 videos. So buckle in, because this is going to be a wild ride. Okay, so first of all, let's go over Apache's video. First of all, I think it's genuinely impressive that you've managed to create 3 builds that are all worse than the default build. Actually impressive, good job.
The cons for bringing back 90% COT, in my opinion, it's gonna. One of the things is I feel like it's gonna make playing support late game way too hard again, and it's gonna feel super unrewarding because even when you're healing somebody, there's gonna be points in time where your teammates just can't clear COT, and you're gonna heal them, and it's just not gonna do anything, and it's gonna make you feel like, why?
So I want to get one thing out of the way that's really quick, that's really fucking important. A support's value is not how much they heal. The best supports don't heal the most. That's not how supports work. Supports are there to enable their team, and healing is very, very good at doing that, but there's other ways to do things. I said this in my Damba guide. I brought up an example with Andrew and Maeve. So you're there to make your team do their jobs, right? You're there to make their jobs as easy as possible. Let's say there's a 1v1 going on between an Andrew and a Maeve. It's a pretty even matchup, right? The better player should win. Now, what if the Maeve has 4,000 health? Unless the Maeve is absolute trash, she's gonna win that. Another scenario, let's say the Andrew can't move or shoot or use any abilities. Again, I'm sure that there are some players that will find a way to lose that, but it should be pretty easy for the Maeve. Another scenario, the Andrew only has 1,000 health, once again, Maeves win that. And that's your job as a support. It is a completely selfless role. The champions that you play are absolute garbage at doing pretty much everything, aside from this one game-defining thing called supporting. There's a reason that Jenos, the support with the worst healing output in the game, was hard meta for a bit. There's a reason that Totemic Ward Grok, which, I mean, previously at the very least, had the worst healing output in the game, is actual garbage, or was actual garbage. It's because supports aren't good because they're healing. And if you think they are, you don't understand how supports work. And if you're like, why? Well, yeah, then their job is to enable their team, and I explain it more in the Damba video. But also, if you don't understand why, you don't have any fucking business talking about the subject. You can give your opinions, yeah, that's fine, you can talk about it, of course. And if you don't understand that, you don't understand why supports aren't picked for their healing, then any opinion that you give on this topic is gonna have an asterisk next to it where it's like, you don't know as much. That's fine. If you want to learn, dude, I've made the resources for it. I want people to learn and get better. Go watch the video. You know, it also helps me out, but like, if you don't understand the topic as well, though, you're not gonna have opinions that are as well backed up and as well thought out. There's nothing wrong with that, but it means that your opinions are shit. Are they valuable? Yeah. Are they shit? Also, yes.
Like healing just doesn't do anything. Like, my character feels useless right now, and that's not fun, man. And at the end of the day, when you're balancing games, like,
there are going to be situations where people can't clear Caut, yes. But I noticed that he skips over the parts when people can clear Caut, or when, you know, maybe Caut isn't as high, because, you know, let's not forget that Caut 3 usually happens like 12 minutes into a game, over that usually, and rejuve exists, especially 10% rejuve. You know, we're going again into the whole good play is rewarded thing, right? But I want to bring up something different, which is your team also has 90% Caut. You don't need to do as much as you did round 1, you just need to do more than the other support, realistically. You're not competing with yourself from 15 minutes ago, right? You're not testing yourself to see how much healing you can do every round. You're trying to beat the other support. You're trying to beat the other team. Even if every single heal you do is 90% caughted, you just have to do more than the other support. And even if they are 90% caughted, you don't need to keep someone at full HP to make an impact, right? Maybe you keep them long enough to win a duel, or alive long enough to make a trade, or you just need to keep a tank alive long enough than the other team's tank, or your team long enough than the other team. Alright? I showed this Pip example in a video.
In his place. Oh, I gotta heal that Androxus! Yes! Get allowed to get a kill! There's a heal for you guys.
And that shows really well how healing with 90% Caut can be impactful. The Andro didn't go to full HP, he died! He literally died! But if the Pip didn't throw the heal in there, then the Victor wouldn't have died either. The Pip had an impact. Congratulations! You healed someone at 90% Caut and are winning the game, and you're carrying. Also, Rejuve would ideally be buyable, because right now it's a joke. It's a literal joke. Don't buy Rejuve this patch. Probably don't buy Rejuve next patch either. Again, a 1% buff? Are you kidding me, dude? So, even if you do take all the arguments that people give against 90% Caut, if you just say, yeah, but what about 30% Rejuve? And that, you know, covers most of them. But also something that gets completely forgotten is that supports just straight up did more healing. Like, if you look at, straight up just like pull up an old VOD, like look up an old PPL game, and just straight up look at how much healing the supports are doing. It's actually insane how much more numbers things had. And things were burstier too, so you could do more, you could be more impactful with burst healing. It's less consistent, but you can do more with it. Right, like I was rewatching the 2018 Worlds while I was working, and definitely like, you know, working hard and just listening on the side, of course. But you can literally, like, you can feel the difference of the healing being strong. Like, old Ying, right? Ying right now, let's put this into perspective, right? Ying right now is perceived as okay, or strong, or pickable, or like, she's a good support, right? And I don't remember her clone numbers changing. Right now, Ying has a 700 heal on a 2.5 second cooldown. she used to have an 800 heal on a 1.5 second cooldown. So you had this cool thing that happened where supports did more healing even with Caut free. I'm gonna straight up take your fucking argument that's the main pillar of almost everything against 75% Caut, against 90% Caut, excuse me. Supports did more healing. The truth, what actually happened, the way things were, is the exact opposite of what you're saying. How can you be this wrong? You're literally as wrong as you could be. Like, supports did more healing with 90% Caut. And you can talk about like how Caut free comes on later, and how rejuve was a thing, and how supports did more, and that was fun, that was cool, that was healthy. But no, my supports did. I'm not going to be able to heal anyone.
Like, healing just doesn't do anything. Like, my character feels useless right now. And that's not fun, man. And at the end of the day, when you're balancing games, like, you gotta balance them around, is this fun? Does this feel rewarding? And things like that, right? Because if the game's not fun, if the aspects aren't fun, people aren't gonna play.
So, this is true, right? Ideally, when people use their abilities, it feels good. You want someone to be able to, like, pick up the game, use abilities, have them do things, and have fun. Right. That is good game design. That's true. However, they also have 4 other abilities. We should encourage people in this game to do the fun things. There are really cool things in this game. We should try to point them towards it. We don't necessarily want people to one-trick Ceres. Like, some people will like that, and they can do that if they want. They should do that if that's what they want to do. Like, by all means, have fun with the video game. But we also want people to, like, experiment with different roles, and different supports, and different builds, and playstyles, and all the cool stuff. All the stuff that people tend to enjoy, the stuff that most people tend to enjoy, and the stuff that got us all hooked into this game. And if you do make it so that healing never feels bad, well, there's a flip side to that. It's that damage is going to feel bad. If a Ceres could just right-click an Inara and keep her alive, right? What the hell's the Victor on the other team gonna feel like? He's gonna feel like shit. He can't do anything. The hard-stuck gold Ceres is having the time of her life, right? But the Victor who's trying to, like, get into the game, who's trying to play DPS, because that's Victor's character, he's like, what the fuck am I... Dude, can I... Okay, I'm gonna go play Overwatch where I can fucking kill shit? I'm gonna go play a game where, like, I can do things. I'd rather the game favor the more aggressive stuff, because if you favor that more aggressive stuff, then maybe the hard-stuck Ceres realizes that, hey, she can, like, use her other 4 abilities, and, like, maybe hit an ult on the Victor, or spam him out, or something. Hey, maybe the hard-stuck Ceres, who's in gold, maybe climbs up to plat. And, like, that aggressive play is more fun to more people. If you... Okay, you know what? I'm gonna give it to you straight. If you want to AFK and right-click a main tank all game, I've got just the cue for you.
Every role in the game needs to be fun, so you gotta really think about that when you're balancing, right? But with that out of the way, right?
Okay, I kind of scuffed the editing here, my bad. I don't know, I don't really have too much of a script. Anyhow, so this whole, like, abilities don't do anything, it's not fun, right? There was a talk by a guy who helped found, I forget, Magic the Gathering, right? You might have heard of it. It's like a cool little card game thing. So he's a designer of a popular video game. Well, not a video game, just a game. Just a game, right? I mean, I guess Magic is a video game now, right? Anyhow, he's a designer of a popular game for like 20-something years. And he gave a talk at a conference for game developers called GDC, which stands for Game Developers Conference, where he talked about a card that he made, where it was this big monster, and you could play it, but the caveat was that you had to sacrifice your entire hand to play the big monster. And this was strong. This was viable. It was balanced. It was strong. It was viable. It had a high cost, you know, high risk, high reward, that sort of stuff. And nobody fucking used it because they wanted to use those cards. They wanted to use the cards with their hand. They didn't want to throw all their fun shit away to play the big monster. So this, I want to use my abilities and have fun, right? It makes sense. So it's like, so what do you value? Do you value people being able to kill things? Or having one part of a support's kit do fewer numbers in one part of the game in certain situations. One thing is just frankly worth more than the other.
The next issue is it's just a band-aid fix. No one's really digging deep and trying to find the real issues, right? So it just feels like, okay, right now the game doesn't feel good. It also didn't feel good back then, but it feels a little bit better, so we're just gonna revert it, right? There's an outlying issue that we just don't know what it is right now, and everybody's just like, well, we're gonna just pick our poison. We're just gonna go back because this just feels a little bit worse than what it used to be, right? And that doesn't make much sense.
What the hell is this guy on about? I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've got no fucking clue. What issue is he talking about? Speak, buddy, dude. Like, I got no clue what this guy's on about. If there's some big issue with the game, sure. I'd love to talk about that. Maybe I'll make a video on it. What is it?
Also, going back to 9% Caut is going to force the devs to have to rebalance the item economy.
Yep.
And I really like where some items are at right now. But if you're bringing back Caut 3, you're going to have to change the price. And then you're going to probably have to change other prices to other things to make it so like things are more affordable. And it's just going to make the game really weird. And it's going to make it hard.
Why?
Hard for the devs to balance it.
Why?
Because they don't. There's no way they're gonna allow Caut to be so good and cost
why
so much that it sucks up so much of your credit economy that you can't buy anything else.
That's false. Okay. This is why I wanted to make this video, is because this shit pisses me off. There's no argument here. Like, let's go back and listen to this.
Thinking about Caut 3, you're gonna have to change the price.
Change the price.
You're gonna probably have to change other prices.
Other prices
to make it so like things are more affordable.
More affordable.
And it's gonna make the game really weird. And
Weird.
It's gonna make it hard for the
hard
devs
to balance
it because they don't. There's no way they're gonna allow Caut to be so good and cost so much.
To cost so
that
much.
It sucks
be
up
good.
so much of your credit economy that you can't buy anything else.
Can't buy
You know
anything
what I'm
else. Why? He doesn't explain anything. He just says shit. No, sir, you have to explain your arguments. That's how this works. That's how this works. But let's talk about... Okay, I'm going to explain my argument, because he doesn't... Can't buy anything else. So this is going to fall into the... This is the main reason for the whole... You can have your cake and eat it too. I spelt two in my script wrong. So the two things, apparently, that you can't have are strong Caut and item variety. Or have it cost a lot. You can't have strong Caut and have it cost a lot, or you can't have strong Caut that costs a lot and item variety. Whatever, you can't have these things at the same time. You have to have weak Caut to have item variety, or you have to have... I don't know, something. Let's talk about how we can have strong Caut and item variety. So people say if Caut is strong, right? If Caut is so strong, you're gonna buy it every round, right? And that's just, like, false, again. Right up before we go into the argument, we have years of evidence of people not doing that. You can look at any PPL game. There's a lot more variety in first spot items. There's a lot more variety in round 2, in round 3, in round 4. In the entire game, there's more item variety. Wow. Funny how that works. That there's literal evidence that counters the thing that you said. There's literal physical evidence of it happening. But the reason because of all this, right, is that first of all, other items could compete with Caut, especially with Caut 1. But now, like, Wreckers sucks dick. I mean, you still buy it in some situations, but, like, yeah, you know, you're not going to start it as much. People used to, by the way, not always buy Caut free when they could. Dang, that's insane. Crazy. But this, right? This right here, this is what people want to avoid. This sucks. This is boring as hell. Nobody wants this. And this is ideally what you want to see. Something like this, right? A lot of items. You're gonna have cauterized, right? Like, can we get this out of the way? Because this is the fucking stupidest thing that I have heard. Is that you can make Caut not mandatory in a game of feelers with supports. Like, fuck off. Fuck right off. If you genuinely think that, you can keep this game as is with the roles that it has. You can keep the Holy Trinity. That's just stupid. It's stupid and I don't know what to say. Caut's going to be the item you buy most of the time. Yeah. And we can talk about if that's a bad thing or not later, but let's right now stick on the topic of item variety. I actually need to pull up my notes. Hello, editing me from the future. Do I still have my notes? Oh, I don't. Oh, no. Okay. Oh, I do! Wait, they're written on the script. Oh, I'm so stupid. Okay. So, right now, right, you can get Caut free, and sometimes Caut free and other items, for round 2. So, you should rush Cauterize free, because you can get it as soon as... You can get it for next round. Which is strong, because it's Caut free, and it's a game of supports, with healers, with self-sustain. That's not... Oh, so let's... Dude, okay, okay. Actually, you know what? I lied earlier. We're gonna go back to this. Again, kind of all over the place, but you could remove supports tomorrow, and you'd still buy Cauterize. Why? Life Rip. First of all, Life Rip influences duels so hard with no Caut. Self-sustain. So many characters have self-sustain. Like, let's just take a look at the game right now, right? Jenos, 35% lifesteal, self-sustain. Victor, 25% life... Dude, I didn't even think of this. But, like, look how many characters have self-sustain. Victor, 25% lifesteal. Cardio if he wants. Cardio with no Caut? Are you kidding? Con, Battle Shout, 20% lifesteal if he wants. Vivian has a 20% lifesteal card? I don't remember what it's at now. Ash, 50% lifesteal. Tyra has inbuilt 10 or 15% lifesteal, plus she has sustain on Nade and sustain on Fireball, or on Molly, whatever. Leon has heal on Q. Furia is straight up a support, and so she has her heal and Light of Dawn. Saris has her Q. She has a heal and Shadow Travel card. She has her... What's the self-sustain card on Saris called? Spirit Leech? No, it's the ammo card. Soulforge? No, that's Furia. I don't remember. She has a self-sustain card. Andrew has a lifesteal card now. Or not a lifesteal card, a heal for 15 per shot. Andy has a heal on Reversal, I believe. And a heal on Dash. You would buy Cauterize in this game if there are no healers. Would you rush it? Maybe. Maybe. I don't know, dude. Who can predict that shit? But, like... I mean, I just think about it, right? Like, let's say a BK starts Life Rip. Right, he's got his heal card, or... Let's say the Victor starts Life Rip. Dude, there's no way you're gonna be able to kill that if you don't have Caut. He's just gonna out-trade you. So you'd buy Cauterize in a game with no support, straight up. In this game, without reworking most of it, you're gonna buy Caut. Simple as that. And now for item variety for real this time. So, alright. So you can, where was I? You can get Caut free, sometimes you can Caut free plus an item, another item for round 2, so you rush it because you can and that's strong. You, this might be a take, should pretty much be forced to, no, this isn't a take, I'm right, fuck you. You should be forced to buy other things. That sounds really arrogant. But there was like a disclaimer at the beginning of the video, so if you're still here, I hope you're along for the ride. Or you're just here to get mad at me and you weren't going to change your mind, in which case, here's some ammunition. But you should be pretty much forced to buy other things, and I'm going to explain how. So round 1, you buy Cauterize. You buy Cauterize, right? You have Caut 1. And then let's say, because you start with 450 credits now, right? You can buy another item. So if you want another item, if you want a Rezel or something, you can buy it. Right now, it's kind of iffy whether you want to buy that. Like, most of the time, yeah, people start Rezel because there's a lot of CC this meta. If it was like a different meta, maybe you don't start Rezel and you just try to rush Caut free for round 2. So, you know, you can buy that other item if you want. But sometimes it's worth it to save for Caut free if you really need to rush it or if the other team has no Rezel. So your decisions are like, I can buy Caut 1 and maybe an extra item, right? And because of that little bonus, that little 150 extra credits, you have that option to go buy other stuff, because you're going to be buying Caut. Or, you know, maybe your support, you're buying Kronos, or maybe you need Record, because Record's strong, or maybe it's Ice Mine, so you have Master Riding, but, like, again, none of those items are really strong enough. Caut 1's usually the best. Round 2. You have Caut 2, at the very least, right? Unless Caut costs a lot and you're getting fucking dumpstered, yeah, you're gonna have Caut 2. And by cost a lot, I mean 300, 600, 900. If you got absolutely dumpstered round 1, it was pretty common. Well, not common, but it was a thing that you wouldn't be able to afford a tier 2 of the next item, so you would go into something else. Because, segue, you're not going into a mid with like 500 free credits in your pocket. You're trying to win the game. You're going to use your credits to give you an advantage in the fights that matter most, which are the mid fights. I feel like I'm making myself sound like I'm talking to someone who doesn't understand me. That I'm talking in a way where like people who don't understand me are gonna feel really offended by this, and the people who agree are already agreeing and like laughing as like, dude, I don't even know what the hell I'm making this video for. This is for me, man. Fuck y'all. Where was I at? Right. So you want to spend for the mids. You want to spend for the mids because mids are important. So if you have Caut 1 and you don't have enough for Caut 2, you're gonna buy other things. If you have Caut 2, and you don't have enough for Caut 3, let's say you have 700 credits. Are you going to go into that mid with 700 credits, just sitting there, doing nothing for you, when it could be like a Riesel 2, or like Haven and a Riesel, or other items? Or are you just going to like hope that you can bribe the other team into letting you win? You're going to buy those other items because you want to win the video game. Right? If you had had enough for Caut 3, you would have bought Caut 3, because Caut 3 is strong as fuck. So you buy the strong as fuck thing. But if you don't, you buy other things. Because you want to win the mid. Round 3, you have Caut 3 at this point. You almost definitely have Caut 3 at this point. Especially if it costs 250, 500, 750. You have Caut 3 at this point. And then, you can buy whatever the fuck you want. And then what you buy depends on how healthy and fun and viable and how much variety there is in the rest of the item store. And that's like a whole last discussion for another time, pretty much. It's slightly related, but like it's mostly, you know, we're talking about cauterize here. And yeah, the item store is all intertwined and connected and all that good stuff, but let's, you know, if we start talking about all that at once, it's going to get real confusing and it's going to be a really long video. This probably is already a really long video because I have a lot to get out. And then round 4, same thing. You have Caut 3, buy other shit. Health depends on the rest of the item store. So what's the theme here, right? What's the theme here? If you can't afford the next level of Caut, you're going to buy it. If you can't, you're going to buy other shit. Right? That's the theme, because people want to spend their credits and get as... You want to hit power spikes for mid-fights, right? If you see this, and you're like, okay, we want variety. We want people to be able to spend their credits and buy shit, because that's cool, right? People like using the things that they have in the tool. Remember the magic, you know, sacrifice your entire hand for the big monster thing? People want to spend their credits. So you let people spend their credits. You make it so that every round, you can buy a level of cauterize, but not the next. And that way, people will either, you know, if you can buy Caut 2 and nothing else for round 2, that's probably what you're going to buy. But if you can buy barely not Caut 2, you barely can't buy Caut 2, you're going to buy other items. And next round, if you can barely not buy Caut 3, you're going to buy more other items. So, the way you rig this, right, is you make your economy look like this. This is how many credits everyone has per mid-fight. So again, you have enough for Caut 1 plus something else. Then round 2, you have enough for Caut 2 plus something else. Not Caut 3. Not Caut 3. Caut 2 plus something else. Round 3, you have enough for Caut 3. Or if you don't want it, you can buy other stuff. But at this point, like, you have Caut 3. The other item store kind of comes into effect. So that's how you rig it. That's how you rig it. You have enough for 250 plus other stuff, 500, but not more than 1500 because that let you get Caut 3. And then round 3 you have over 1500. And we can elaborate on this even more. What if it's 300 per level? Well, maybe round 1 you can only buy like some things. You know, right? You can only buy like a Riesel. You might not be able to start like, I don't know, what costs 200? I mean, it used to be Riesel. Life Rip. Maybe you can only buy like cauterized And no. Yeah, so you can't start Cauterized Life Whip anymore. Boo-hoo. So you buy Cauterized plus something else, right? And then round 2, you have like between 900 and 1800 credits. Which it opens up more space for more items because you have more stuff to buy without breaching the benchmark of Cauterized free. And then round 3, you have 1800 plus credits. And obviously this isn't going to be perfect, right? You're going to wiggle with this. If someone is hard popping off, yeah, you used to be able to buy Caut free for round 2 in the past when it cost 300, 600, 900, but that was only if you're like hard popping off. And that's okay. And there were times where, yeah, you couldn't buy Caut 2 for round 2 because you were getting fucked. And that's okay. Because like, oh god, there's like a big punchline I'm waiting to deliver, but it's later on in the script and I'm really holding back on it. Please hold on to this little, yeah, maybe that sucks, but maybe it's not balanced, but, and just hold on to that for a bit until I get to the end. So you can also see like how, god, I'm gonna have to do so much editing on this. So you can also see how having a higher price of Cauterize actually leads to more item variety, because you're more likely to be able to buy a lot of items while still not having enough for the next level of Caut.
And my last con, right, is it doesn't fix the real issues with the game. There's other issues that actually make the game suck. A 90% Caut doesn't fix that.
What issues? He doesn't say. He just doesn't say. So I assume he means where the meta is with double support, because it's been here for a while and people are starting to really hate it. Double support definitely started this conversation about 75% Caut, but it's not the underlying issue. The underlying issue is that lower levels of Caut screw over the fun parts of the game. And fun is obviously subjective, but you can't design a game for everyone. And more people enjoy the aggression and faster tempo that 90% Caut brings. And you can, like, you know, ask people who played.
I feel like you bringing it back will probably make 50 to 60%, and this is a maybe, of the player base temporarily happy. Some people will always be happy with it, but like, I feel like at first people are like, yes, 90% Caut,
huge grip,
and it's like, yeah, and then it's gonna go over the little honeymoon period, and it's gonna be like, healers are gonna be like, man, I still hate this. And then tanks are gonna be like, man, I just don't get healed late game. I'm playing super well, I'm making smart decisions, but like, I just...
Again, we've talked about this shit, right?
My health's not coming
Go
back.
next.
It feels like I don't have a healer right now, you know? Oh yeah, another con too, it'll make more healers just less valuable. You wanna...
Okay. So, again, like, can we just establish that, yeah, if you change 90% Caut, the game's not gonna all of a sudden fucking succeed? Like, I'm not trying to fix every design issue the game has. 90% Caut's not gonna do that. All it's gonna do is make the game better. It's gonna make the game more fun. Let's go one thing at a time now, yeah?
Oh yeah, another con too, it'll make more healers just less valuable. You wanna, in my opinion, every healer should be able to solo heal as well as play an off heal role or things like that as well, right? I don't feel like there should be just designated supports that are just off healers and then they never get played. Like, why develop a champion that's not gonna get played, right?
Okay, so... oh, God. Here's Ying being played if 90% Caut. And popping off, mind you. Here's Ceres being played if 90% Caut. Here's Megapop Pip being played if 90% Caut. Then all this, like, off-support stuff, yeah, sure. That's kind of just a balance thing. Like, why does Stun Corvus never get played? Well, it's not because Caut is at 75%. It's because Stun Corvus is ass. That's why. Not because 75% Caut, because Stun Corvus sucks, dude. That's just a balance thing. And again, one thing at a time.
But back to pros. DPS will get picked more. Maybe. Because at the end of the day, if there's more Caut, you're still going to feel like you need more healing. And if you're not fixing the real issue that I'm going to get to, you're still going to pick 2 supports over damage. Because you're going to need the healing. Because one support is not going to heal enough.
I heard this. I was like, apxche, no! Oh, it hurt me, dude. It hurt me. It hurt me real bad. This is saying, if 90% Caut comes back, you're gonna need 2 supports to keep up and healing. Nah. Nah. That's not how it works. That's not how it worked. Do I even have to say anything? Just look at any VOD ever. Apxche, look at your own damn VODs. Do you have VODs saved from 90% Caut? Look! Look! Did you play double support with 90% Caut because one support wasn't enough to keep a team alive? Go look at your VODs and show me a single fucking game of that being true. It's just false. It's just wrong. I don't know what to say to that other than that it's false. Because that's all it is. And it's false because, like, it'll fall off. Yeah, we've talked about how supports, you know, what they can do to fall off less and what that means and how that affects game fun and blah, 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 blah. But, yeah, they do fall off. Obviously, they don't fall off to the point of being bad or worthless, but that's just how the item store works. That's how every game that has an item store works. But yeah, DPS fundamentally fall off less. There's a reason you don't pick 5 supports, and that's because healing isn't the end-all be-all of this game. There's like a little benchmark in between too much healing and not enough healing that's, you know, nice and good there. I don't know, man. It's just stupid. And this is what I mean, right? Like, these arguments for 75% Caut are just wrong and false and stupid. Like, we had a Jenos meta, we had a Corvus meta, we had double pocket meta. We had metas where the throughput supports were strong and pickable. You could pick Dombo and pocket meta. You could have done it. I played it. And you still picked the things that didn't do as much healing. You had metas where throughput healers were meta. And you still picked things that did less healing. Like Furia and Io. Why? Because I'm gonna restate this again. You don't pick supports for their healing. Just pisses me off sometimes, man. How am I expected to make a comprehensive video on this?
Another pro. Late game will be shorter. Why? Because once 90% Caut kicks in, the team that relies less on healing is going to lose. Because that's just how it's gonna go. You have a comp that doesn't have a lot of self-sustain and needs their support to put in a lot of work. Okay, we get to late game, we just lose, guys. Even though we had a very good contested game, we played well, we get to late game, we lose.
Okay. First of all, I just want to point out, because that's just how it is, right? This guy... Dude, I really don't want to say anything too mean, but, like, come on. You know you don't have jack shit. But again, this is something we can prove was false by looking at literally any fucking VOD from before the Caut nerfs. Go next.
And I understand there's early game comps, there's late game comps, there's mid game comps, whatever, right? But at the end of the day, teams, like, supports just shouldn't feel bad at the end of the game. Doesn't make sense.
So, again, we've talked about how supports are fine late game. I've been talking about it for weeks. I'm gonna lose my shit. Can you hear it in my voice? But first of all, what the fuck is a mid-game comp? Real talk. Like, fuck yeah, bud, we're gonna win the 2-2 mid-fight. Hell yeah, brother. Nah, man. So, yeah, so if you have an early game comp, which arguably lasts longer, you have an advantage, and then late game, you have a disadvantage. And that's the way it should be. It shouldn't be bullshit, and it isn't, because again, go back and watch literally any fucking VOD. It's false. And it's false because, like, again, you can adapt, right? Let's say you have like a Damba, an Ara, you have like a really passive tank, let's say you have a Khan, and you want to say, fuck it, we're gonna go into their backline. You can do that! Your Ara could, like, pop DR and run it down. Apxche, you fucking know what an Ara can do if she's aggressive, dude. You can play off tank an Ara, you can run stuff down. Despite, like, you know, having a early game slow comp. You can change the way you play. You have options. And if you're an individual, you can still do things. You can still, you know, be aggressive by yourself and carry and do shit. If you do the same thing over and over, you're going to lose. Yeah! You are! It's good game design. And the alternative to this, right? If a slow comp could just play slow every time, over and over. That's stupid, right? That's the alternative, is having teams be able to do the same thing over and over and have that work. At that point, you don't have an early mid-late game. Those are just gone. Early mid-late game is like, affects how comps work. If comps don't need to change how they work, you don't have an early mid-late game anymore. And I think early mid-late game is fantastic. It's so much depth through simplicity. It's options. It's everything you could want as a game developer, as a game designer. It's fucking fantastic. And again, look at any VOD. You can literally see what I'm talking about happen. All these arguments are so fucking stupid. Like, I hate having to make these videos where I have to come prepared with sources and 7 peer-reviewed papers to back myself up and to counter arguments that are just people spouting bullshit. That's why these videos come out on a weekly basis, usually with more filler, quicker to make videos in between. That's why it's been a while since I've released one of these more discussion type videos. And that's why I made this video. It's kind of exhausting and time consuming, showing why bullshit is bullshit. And I'm at the end of my rope for this whole 90% Caut thing. I'm just fed up with it, man. It's a thing that should come back, will be helpful for the game. If you don't think so, fuck off. You're wrong. I can tell you why you're wrong. I've been telling you why you're wrong for weeks. You don't have any arguments. Every argument you've had, I'll talk about. I'm right. Fuck you. I'm tired of pretending otherwise.
Okay, so actual issues. Supports like Furia, Rover, Jenos, Grok, they do way too much damage, as well as they also sustain themselves very well. So they're bringing healing and utility, they do a lot of damage, and they can support themselves so much that, like, even when they're caught out alone, they're still winning duels as a support. You're able to defend yourself, but like, if I'm a tank and I'm running at you and you're by yourself, you should not solo me as a tank. That's not your job as a support. That's a damage or flanks job. Support shouldn't be like, Cotton's running at me, I'm Jenos, let me just pull out a mirror. Click, 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 Cotton's dead. No, that should not happen, man. It doesn't make sense.
Real talk. Who plays binary Jenos like that? Or like you click it over and over? Like, I know some people do, but if you do, man, you're a freak. What the fuck? So, yeah. Also, should not happen, man. That doesn't make sense. It's almost like metas, where, squishies that can sustain themselves really well and can bully tanks really suck. Like, the pocket meta. And that one also has 75% Caut in it. It's almost like 75% Caut isn't purely an issue because it's double support. Talking about, like, the actual thing that he brings up with supports, though. Is it related to 90% Caut? Partly, yeah. Caut affects everything in the game. Double supports obviously are going to be really affected by it, especially, double supports and double support comps, rather, and off supports. But is it, like, the only thing, right? No, like, the fundamental issue here is that 90% Caut encourages things that are more fun for more people, and 75% Caut encourages bullshit. So 90% Caut and double supports started the conversation, right? But it's not the be-all, end-all, right? And again, 90% Caut encourages fun stuff, 75% Caut encourages bullshit. When you're watching the game, whether it's esports, or a stream, or a YouTube video, or, maybe you're checking out gameplay of a game and reviews to see if the game is, like, worth playing, you want to see cool shit. I'm going to talk about the other game for a second, but remember when Goats came around in Overwatch? And I follow Overwatch esports because I think it's cool. I like watching it, even though I don't play the game as much. Which, I mean, hey, that's cool, benefit of an esports scene. Anyhow, different video. And when Goats came around, we saw all these really cool DPS players that, like, hard popped off in Season 1. And we got to see them on Brig. And that just kind of fucking sucked. If you watch Froggy's stream, you want to watch him play Eevee or BK, right? You see him pop off. Or do you want to see him play Vora and like take a poke fight where it takes 4 years to kill anything? If you watch Penguin stream, you want to see him play Drogue and Maeve and going in, or playing Cassie until someone Vine crashes? If you watch apxche's stream, do you want to watch this man play like, I don't fucking know, half shell Makoa and never fucking move? Like, here's my shell, here's my hook, that is me, that's all I have, I'm gonna hold space, wee! If you watch my stream, right, you wanna watch me play Saris? And just right-click things? Or do you want to watch me play Domba, who's like the best character design in a video game? Cool shit is awesome! So, yeah, the characters in the support role do DPS things better than actual DPS characters, and that's affected by Caut, but that's more of a balance thing. They're not the same. You can also just, like, fix both of those issues. They're not separate. You don't have to just choose whether you want to balance supports or fix cauterize. You can do both. You can do both. Anyhow, go watch the rest of the video for yourself. I cut out a lot of it because fuck you, I can do what I want. But it's genuinely a good video. apxche's a cool guy. I know I shit on him, but like, hi apxche. No, he's cool. He's smart. He knows the game. Except for this. But yeah, go like watch it if you want to hear his side and the full things. But let's dive in to the next catastrophe, which is the 4.5 patch notes. So there's dev commentary, which, like, thank fuck. So this stuff is good. But there's not really any explanations given, aside from more variety. There's no, this is why we want this item to be picked. This item wasn't being picked enough. This is why we made this specific change. These are the changes we wanted to see. I could have written these without any insight into what the actual reasoning behind these changes are. So I really appreciate that there is dev commentary, especially since it like disappeared off the face of the earth for a bit, but I wish it was like, you know, more insightful. Now, onto the bullshit. So again, more variety, more clarity. Okay, clarity. Let me explain the difference. Let me explain the difference between Haven and blast damage. If it can hit multiple people, it's blast damage. If it can only hit one person, it's direct damage. That's it. Alacrity Leon. Can it hit multiple people? Yeah? Okay, cool. Blast damage. Term Swings. Can it hit multiple people? Yeah, it can. Okay, blast damage. Drogue Rocket. Can it hit multiple people? Yeah, okay, blast damage. Cassie Shot. Can it hit multiple people? No. Direct damage. There you go! That's it! If this was well explained, it literally would not be an issue. Or, it's not an issue, and they're just coming up with something to explain a change that they have other reasons for, which, like, yikes, that would be rough. It's definitely not that, though, right? So, going off the dev commentary, this is just a band-aid fix, right? This is... It's not even a fix to anything. It just nerfs blasters and makes the item store more simple. And yeah, more simple. Because even though they say that they want more variety, this makes the item store very linear. Haven is always more effective HP than Veteran. You can do the math. I don't know if no one in Evil Mojo did, like do they have calculators in Georgia? Is that a thing over there? I don't know. But it's actually awful that this made to PTS. I have no idea what the fuck the point of this item is. It's never better than Haven. It's 50 credits cheaper. That's it. But we'll see if it changes for live, though. It won't. But we'll see. Also, I want to touch on this one real quick. This is kind of side topic. Without modifying the duration of combat, which would negatively affect veteran players' implicit game sense. This line. Do they seriously think veteran players, or like even good players, don't adapt based on like early, mid, late game or the item store? Like seriously? That's almost insulting. I don't know what to say about that. That's just ignorant. And now, for the main event. I haven't written a script for this part, I realized. I've sat down and started recording this. I just realized I didn't actually finish the script. That was a mistake. Oh well, improv! So let's read this one out loud first. Literally all that's in the script is the words, first of all, it's been like, and then it's the next section. What the fuck? Okay. So let's... Oh, I know what I was going for. Okay, so let's read this. Cauterize is a larger conversation that needs to happen over a larger period of time. Right. Okay, first of all, it's been like... How long since... Hold up, I'm actually going to look this up because I don't know. Again, you can tell I didn't write the script. Or I did write the script. But... I'm stupid. So... A Tigron's Tale came out... Okay, so the Caut changes were early January 2020. It's been a year and a half. How much longer do we need to be having this conversation for? Back to the reading, right? We feel that having one or a very few items or mechanics that are required or are extremely important linchpins for any balance or change proposed for paladins is generally an unhealthy idea and should be addressed. That being said, the current change should help alleviate some of the concerns the community has brought to us by increasing the scaling of Cauterize. Let's go over two main things here. One, the scaling is by 5% per level. That's not going to matter for jack shit. Let's be frank here. Like, will it impact things? Yeah, it will. Will it impact things enough to change the issues that 75% Caut has? No, I don't think so. It hasn't on PTS. And I know PTS is PTS, but frankly, I'm not willing to give it enough of a fucking shot on live. I mean, I will. I'm gonna play the game. I'm gonna play the game, and I am gonna have an open mind, because that's how you get good at shit. That's how you get good at this game. But if anything I know about the game is true, if anything everyone I know knows about the game is true, this isn't gonna do anything. Also, there is some sweet irony in this. And I'm going to read this line again and see if you can spot what I'm getting at. We feel that having one or very few items or mechanics that are required or are an important words are hard apparently, or are an extremely important linchpins for any balance or change proposed for paladins is generally an unhealthy idea and should be addressed. So if you can understand through the actual mumbo jumbo that I'm spitting out of my mouth right now, you can see the word generally in there. I 100% agree with that sentence. If there's something that you always need to buy, or almost always need to buy, that's generally unhealthy. Cauterize is not unhealthy, because there's an exception to that rule. And if you want to know why, because Cauterize incentivizes fun shit, and that, again, Cauterize a higher level of Cauterize incentivizes fun shit. The cool shit. The stuff that you want to see on streams. Stuff that you want to see in esports. Stuff that you want to watch. Stuff you want to play. That's the kind of stuff that it encourages. So yeah, you have to pay the penalty of technically worse game design. But what you get in return is something fun. And all this was done with the point of variety, of good game design in mind, right? That's the point of all this. That's the point of all these changes. This is why they happen. This screenshot are from PGCT, the Paladins Global Charity Tournament. This is a community tournament that happened. It has the best players in the world who still play this game. Look at this shit. Fucking look at this. This is boring. This is not variety. These changes have not... It's been a year and a half. These changes have not done what they were supposed to. Here's proof that we did have variety. We used to have variety. And you might say, oh, that's only esports. Cool, here's some videos from Kami VS with 90% Caut, and here's the items in them. Oh, you might say. But that's only high-level players. Okay, here's some Frostfangs videos with item variety. What more do you want? Legitimately, what fucking more do you want? Do you want variety? We had variety. Do you even want variety, man? Like, you're sacrificing so much. Like, in this chase for variety, for healthiness, for a healthy item store, do you even want variety? Or are you just going for balance for the sake of balance? Because, first of all, you're failing at that. And you're sacrificing fun for this theoretical idea of balance. The fucking point of balance is to make the game fun. You can have unbalanced bullshit and still have fun. And you can have a game that's perfectly balanced and have it be boring as shit. If you were to give each player a win button in Paladins, like you could just type /win into the game, and it would, it would win. You'd win. That would be perfectly balanced if you gave it to every team. Would that be fun? Hell no. But you can have metas with bullshit in them. Willow with her fucking Super Soaker, or, Makoa being stupid. You can have dumb stuff. You can have, again, unbalanced bullshit and have fun. Have you ever played... I don't know, what's a game... Again, I didn't finish the script. So, editing. Any party game. Really, any party game. Okay, you get the point I'm trying to make, right? You can have unbalanced bullshit and have fun. And that's the point of balance. We're not trying to get variety for the sake of variety. We're not trying to have balance for the sake of balance. We're trying to play video games for fun. 90% Caut incentivizes fun shit. 75 or probably even 80% Caut incentivizes bullshit. That's the point. Ta-da! I don't know what else to say. Legitimately, if you're not convinced, I don't know what to tell you. I genuinely don't. I've waited. There's a reason to treat these videos. It's because the first one, I had my arguments, and I've heard what like, a lot of the poor arguments for 75% Caut were. I assumed that, like, there were going to be good arguments coming up from, like, good players later. And none did. And the second video was, okay, I made some mistakes in my video. I didn't explain things well. I wasn't very clear. I glossed over some things. I addressed some things poorly. And I didn't address some things that I should have. So I changed that. That was video 2. This video is me getting pissed that this is still a debate because there hasn't been a good argument made for 75% Caut yet. Bring back 90% Caut. That's all. Goodbye.